Good evening, I'm Leland Vittert. Vladimir Putin can call it whatever he wants. In this case, and he is using these words, peacekeeping. And the White House can split grammatical hairs any way they want. For some reason, nobody else is calling it an invasion. Having covered wars from the Middle East to Ukraine in 2014, I don't know what else to call it. But we will explain why both sides are playing cute with the semantics in a minute. Vladimir Putin spoke to his country this afternoon, Eastern Time, laying out his justification for taking over another country. Take a listen.
Еще раз подчеркну, что Украина для нас это не просто соседняя страна. Это неотъемлемая часть нашей собственной истории, культуры, духовного пространства.
We've come over to the touchscreen to show you what happened in that speech. Russia here, obviously. They had taken Crimea, which is the Black Sea port that they wanted back in 2014, and turned this into part of Russia rather than part of Ukraine. This is the city of Donetsk, where I was in 2014, where the Russian separatists came in and moved into this area. However, the rest of the world and the Russians never said this was Russian territory. Today, Vladimir Putin said the People's Republic of Donetsk and the People's Republic of Luhansk, these created, made-up areas, are no longer part of Ukraine, and Russia represents them as sovereign territory. Russian special forces have been in here advising and equipping the Ukrainian separatists. There's those militias. Ethnically, this part of Ukraine is not only very rich in coal, but it's ethnically Russian. So they speak Russian, are much more loyal to Mother Russia than they are to a democratic Ukraine aligned with the West. When I was there in 2014, it was led by a guy named Denis Pushilin. He is still in power and has been leading this low-grade war since 2014. Having interviewed him, I can tell you he is not a nice fella. He hates the United States and views Vladimir Putin as the strongman that will once again bring back Mother Russia to supremacy. And this map shows us exactly now why Vladimir Putin arranged his forces in the way that they did. The new units here on the Russian border, these were the ones likely moving into Donetsk in the video we just showed you. This set of Russian forces here is now within a mile or two of the border. They're set up to move in here also into this ethnically Russian part of the country. From Crimea, they can move up through this part of Ukraine, and then here and here from Belarus, they can threaten the capital of Kiev. Remember, these are the people who are coming in that Vladimir Putin just called peacekeepers. The idea is send them here to Donetsk and either pick a fight with the Ukrainians who have their military's front line arranged here, or stage enough attacks as a pretext for war. How do we know that's what's going to happen? Well, Vladimir Putin told us. These are screen grabs from Russia Today. RT's broadcasting Putin's speech, and Russia Today is the propaganda arm of the Kremlin. This is what we call the lower third, what the producers write out. Putin, West pretends no genocide against 14 million people in the East. This is Vladimir Putin setting up the situation where his peacekeepers must protect 14 million people, and any amount of the Ukrainians defending themselves will be a pretext to war. What is more honorable than going to war to protect ethnic Russians? Here is Vladimir Putin doing just that, justifying the war.
Два эти документа будут подготовлены и подписаны в самое ближайшее время. А от тех, кто захватил и удерживает власть в Киеве, мы требуем незамедлительно прекратить боевые действия. В противном случае вся ответственность.
Admittedly, we haven't heard much about a White House response to the invasion. That's because there really hasn't been much. No presidential address, and there is not one scheduled for tonight. No press briefing by the State Department, Pentagon, or White House. Nada. Just a piece of paper, an executive order that will prohibit new investment, trade, and financing by U.S. persons to, from, or in the so-called DNR and LNR, Donetsk or Luhansk regions of Ukraine. The executive order will also provide authority to impose sanctions on any person determined to operate in those areas of Ukraine. So let's summarize the White House response. Effectively, you may not be able to use your Wells Fargo ATM card in Donetsk this weekend, and if you were going to open a new Home Depot in Luhansk, you've got to wait. And new this evening, Ukraine has requested an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council to address Russia's invasion. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.